Welcome in episode number 133 of The Voice Behind the Voice. I'm Sean Aronson, the TV and radio broadcaster for the St. Paul Saints, an independent minor league baseball team in the Twin Cities. Well, last week I told you that the entire office was headed to Nashville, Tennessee, somewhere I had never been, not the state, not the city, never. And how do I put this? It was interesting. Full disclosure, and I think I said this last week, I am not a country music fan. You cannot avoid music, period, when you are in Nashville. And it's kind of interesting. If you walk down the main road, which is Broadway, there are restaurants slash pubs slash bars slash whatever as far as the eye can see. And every one of them is about 3 or 4 stories high. And on every level, there's music being played. So it doesn't matter what restaurant you go to, doesn't matter what level within that restaurant slash bar that you go to, you are going to hear music. Now, it's not all country music, but there is plenty of it. And it starts, I don't know, I was down there as early as 10 o'clock in the morning it was going on. I was there as late as 11 o'clock midnight, and it was still going on. So from what I can tell, probably after the bars close at 2 o'clock and then maybe reopen at, 7 or 8 o'clock, that's the only time that there's sort of quiet down there, but it goes on nonstop. We had an opportunity to go to the Grand Ole Opry in the Ryman Theater, and that was a lot of fun. I'll say this, I lasted longer than I anticipated. The show was about 2 hours long. It's a live show, and I don't mean live that you're watching people live, but it's a live radio show. So I don't know if they do it every day or on certain days, but it is live on their whatever stations are out there. Sirius XM carries this station. I think they have a local station as well. But the 7 to 9 o'clock show that we went to was live. Now, they do another show at 9:30, and I assume it's the identical show. I don't know if that one is live on radio as well. But it was pretty cool. I stayed for 85% of it until the big act, I guess. I don't even know who it was, to tell you the truth, came on. And then myself and one other person in the office left so we could go to the sports bar to watch the beginning of the Duke-Kentucky game. Priorities at this point, what can I say? Everyone else pretty much stayed till the end, and then some people joined us over at the sports bar. But I got my fill. I saw what it was about. I'll say this, there was an a cappella group that are from Minnesota, from Mankato, I think, that were tremendous. And I don't know if I said this, but we're hosting the All-Star game this year, 2019, and we'd like to try and reach out to them and get them out here. They were actually really good and entertaining, probably the most entertaining of the groups slash singers that I saw. That's not to discount anyone else. They just sort of held my interest more than anyone. On top of that, I did meet up with Pete Weber of the Nashville Predators. He was in town up until Tuesday. We got there Sunday night and left on Wednesday. And on Monday morning, he and I had breakfast at the hotel we were staying at, the lovely JW Marriott, which is about 2 blocks from Bridgestone Arena. So we stayed right in the heart of everything. It's really a wonderful, wonderful city. I don't really have anything negative to say about it. I'd love to go back and explore a couple of other things, but overall it was a good time. Short, we traded ideas or exchanged ideas with the other teams that we own. It's always good to get together with the other teams and chat with the people and talk to them and just catch up. And overall, it was a really good trip. So here in the office for a couple of weeks, Thanksgiving, then another couple weeks after that in Vegas for the winter meetings. A couple weeks after that is the holidays at the end of the year. So work is sort of choppy this time of the year before we really turn the page in January towards the 2019 season. And with that, let's get to episode number 133. It is Dan Miller of the Detroit Lions. This is a guy that has been a sports anchor and a play-by-play guy for the Lions and trying to juggle that, and super nice guy. He literally got into town, went up to his room at the hotel that they stay at. It's always fun to be in the hotel when the teams get there, and very rarely have I been in the hotel when the NFL teams get there. Usually when the NBA teams get there, a lot of those guys like to meet right when they get there. But it's crazy to see these 340-pound behemoths walk into these hotels and just see everybody's neck kind of crane and look to see who are these large men that are walking through the lobby here. But Dan was fantastic and just gracious with his time upon getting into Minneapolis. If you have not subscribed to the podcast, you can do so on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast. Again, be sure to rate it. Follow us on social media on Twitter at The Voice BTV, Facebook, facebook.com/TheVoiceBTV, and you can always email me, thevoicebtv@gmail.com. All right, let's get to it. Episode number 133, Dan Miller of the Detroit Lions. JW, roll the open.
I started getting calls like week 14 from people in the business and friends of mine who said, "You ready?" And I'm like, first time, a couple times I said, like, "What for?" And like, I was getting calls from people saying, "You need to be ready for that final call of the last game," because that's like historic stuff. So that's one of the very few times in my life that I actually wrote something out that I was going to say. And it sucked.